Hi guys, Eli here with Ancestral Recall. Sorry for the bad light. I'm just recording a video. I got back to the room where I'm staying here in Barcelona. Man, I am beat. But yeah, part of that's because I'm coming down from a cold, which I had when I was in London. And I played in both a draft and a trial today. Just one trial. Reason why I just won? Won the damn thing. So, yeah. I have two buys for Barcelona tomorrow, which I'm pretty stoked about. Last time I had two buys at the Grand Prix, I finished in 19th place. Got amateur money, so that was pretty sweet. Of course, that was way, way, way back in the day in 2003. So yeah, it's been a while since I had some buys. So anyway, I'm pretty psyched about that. Just to let you guys know, there are a bunch of events that if you played in a trial, you got one of these today, and I'm also getting one tomorrow because that is part of the deal of the main events, and I'm also getting one of them Stoneforge Mystics. Not that big a deal, to be perfectly honest, but I have picked up a ton of cards while I'm here. I have 6 sealed pools for Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch, which I'm going to go back to Saudi Arabia and play in my casual play group with, which makes me pretty pumped about that. I have a box of Shadows to draft. I won 24 packs today, which, I mean, hey, that's pretty sweet. If I had been less greedy and not offered a split of extra points or the buys in the final rounds, I would have taken them home. And so let me tell you, my sealed deck today, pretty darn sick. In fact, let me break it down for you so you guys can see. Okay, a couple MVPs. Sinister Concoction. Freaking sweet card. It is not great card advantage, but the fact that it gets you a lot closer to dementia is huge. Really, really solid. You convert it for sometimes 5 or 6 mana that your opponent plays. Really efficient, really efficient. Okay, we got Deadweight. I avoided playing this in the draft and stuck it in the board. That was a big mistake. This is a mighty fine card. Deals with lots of things. Explosive Apparatus, good at getting you at Delirium, although my deck doesn't overall get there. Rattle Chains, pretty sweet. 2-1 Flash Flyer, not super exciting, but the fact that your opponent has to be wary of instant speed spirits, yeah, that's a thing. I'm not going to go through every card here, but I do want to talk about MVPs. Rancid Rats. If you're playing Sealed, which is a slower format than Draft, you want these. These will trade with lots of really solid cards, and the fact that it has Skulk will often let you, in the stalled board, keep getting a couple points in. Really, really good. Definitely do not sleep on these. I have one transform card in here. Era Falconwrath transforms into the 3-2 flyer. Ooh, Air of the Night. Just so good. So good. I mean, incredible Madness enabler. I didn't have a ton of Madness. In fact, the 3-5 vampires that you can Madness in for 3 mana, I didn't play. I didn't play them because I wanted to have evasive beats, not just like things coming down the board. The biggest mistake I made with this pool was Into the Wind. I boarded it out every single time for the Murderous Compulsion, because dealing with big things on a permanent basis is way better. So that was a mistake. Pale Rider of Tristad. Oh, this is a pretty awesome card. I was able to flash it in, and it acted to eat grizzly bears. Pretty awesome. Wildfield Scarecrow. This is a crucial card, especially in combination with another card coming up. It's not just mana fixing, but it helps fuel your hands for reanimation, because there's a bunch of reanimating effects that you should consider. I went 5-0 with this deck, no joke. It's quite powerful, and it was able to smash a lot of aggro. Wicker Witch. Wicker Witch, 3-1 for 3, getting 2 Delirium types into the board. No joke. This is a solid card. And I got in with it quite a few times. It traded with numerous other creatures, which my opponents, it almost always traded upwards. So, yeah, really good card. Okay, so that's Scarecrow. Amazing card with Forgotten Creation, or as I prefer to refer to it, another bad creation, who you can use to summon Aisha. Sorry, I'm a child of the 80s, what can I say? But yeah, the thing about this card is discarding your entire hand and drawing a new one is huge. I kept hands with this and 4 lands, and then I kept drawing lands, but if my opponent had had a removal spell, I would have been in deep trouble. But because they didn't, and they're like, it's just a 3/3 with Skulk, it's not getting through right now. I don't think that's a big deal. I ditched my hand, drew lots of action. I was able to see 9 or 10 new cards with this, which helped me get set up for a lot later on. Here is one of the most broken cards. You should definitely draft these quite highly, is Stitchwing Scab. 3-1 flyer, and you can bring it back repeatedly, pitching lands for it, pitching madness cards for it. The cost is so cheap, so you're able to get a lot of madness shenanigans off of this. Really, really amazing card. And in some matches, it is just inevitability, getting through in the air. Silent Observer. Yeah, so my deck's supposed to be about the evasive beatdown. Well, sometimes it takes a little time to get that evasive beatdown set up. And so, yeah, 1/5 flyer. I was happy to play it with pride. I was even able to flash it in a couple times and make my opponent say, oh, do I really want to waste a removal spell or a pump spell to get rid of this thing? Well, he didn't. He held back. And, this guy saved me a ton of damage, gave me a lot of time to get things set up. Stallion and Mashmouth. This is one of the best darn Hill Giants I've seen in a really long time. It's not constructed playable, but the potential to get Delirium, and then it turns into a Frozen Shade with already reasonable stats. Yeah, this is a great card. I'm very happy to draft these. And Sleep Paralysis, this is a blue removal spell. Basically, yes, it can be canceled with Angelic Purge, but yeah, this is quite powerful. Definitely one of the best blue commons you can get. And if you get 2 or 3 of these in your sealed pool, you definitely want to be playing them. Hound of the Farbogs. I did not play with Madness Enablers, but I did play with this guy because 5/3 with Potential Menace, yeah, that's a threat. That is something that is legit. Big fan of this card. It's not great, but I feel the format's slow enough that you will be fairly able to reliably play your 5-drops. Throttle, yeah, good removal spell. It takes care of key blockers. It doesn't take care of the biggest bombs, but it's perfectly reasonable. From Under the Floorboards. Ooh, so many shenanigans I pulled with this. Most of the time I just straight up hard casted it, and when it was like 2/2s trading with 2/2s, trading with 2/2s, and it was able to set up the board for a nice, cool stall with me way ahead. I was able to madness it once for 5. That was pretty badass. And, oh yeah. Geralf's Masterpiece is not a fair card. I remember attacking with it, and my opponent was able to throw a 4/3 to block it in the air. All right, fine. Well, that's totally cool because I've got 3 more cards in the hand. So just get ready to see it come right back. And that's what happens. Ooh. And just having ways to mill yourself to get this set up. This is a complete and utter beat stick. Ghoulsteed, not nearly as good as Gerald's Masterpiece, but you know what? That's okay. I was able to mill this along with the blue mill. I mill myself to get this out with the blue mill card and get some madness in. The card advantage, it's not that bad. Really not that bad. I'm a big fan of this in sealed. It does give you a lot of redundancy and consistency in your late game draws, so you really want to be sure to sit on your extra lands because this will really make them pay off. And yeah, so I talked about Murderous Compulsion. So yeah, I went for a total of 5-0. I dropped 1 game total. Most of the time I was the aggressor because I was fast enough in hitting a bunch of my earlier drops so that I was able to get in for about 6-8 points. Then I was able to remove the key things because I had about 5-6 removal spells which could handle almost anything. I mean, some of them, Throttle doesn't do the job for everything, but I lost the game to a very aggressive red-green werewolf beatdown, but hey, those things happen. I feel in sealed, 2 drops matter quite a bit. 3 drops, also pretty crucial, but I think my curve on this deck, it was like 5 2s, 2 3s, 6 4s, 4 5s. So I was playing slightly more expensive spells, but I was able to get some of them cheap by using various shenanigans, such as reanimating my Scab for just 2 mana by discarding it to the Dread Concoction. But anyway, so that's one of the interesting things that you can do. I feel that evasion is definitely very powerful, and there are lots of ways to build decks so that you can still beat up a very aggressive early draw that curves out. And that's what I hope to be doing tomorrow in the main event, where I only have to go 5-2 to make day 2. And that's pretty awesome. I am a bit of a sealed specialist because sealed is kind of my bag and always has been. Back when I was writing articles for Star City about original Ravnica sealed and various others. So anyway, guys, I'll cut it off here. Thanks for watching. Peace out. And I will see you guys in about a week or 2 if I don't put up any more footage from Barcelona. And I still have some footage left over from London that I've got to get around to putting up, but I really want to get the next episode of Urza's Saga out there, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Take it easy.